This channel is sponsored by naturalhealthycbd.com. Go there for all your CBD pain relief product needs and use code Egocast10 for 10% off your purchase. So, the front burner is getting pretty full. That's where I kind of put everything that you guys refer to me and whatnot. And where I put all the things that I would like to talk about at some point. Some of them are getting old, so I had to get rid of those. I'm just generally cleaning it out. But some of them are old, but I still kind of wanted to talk about it. So this is just kind of a list of topics that I figure I still wanted to weigh in on, but it's not enough at this point to really make an entire video on it yet. There really isn't enough on the subject, or the subject has progressed to a certain point but not really anywhere else. So I'm just gonna kind of go through stuff and clean shit up. So here we go. First is Kilroy.
Obviously, people are wondering what's happening with the event. Is it on? Is it off? What's the plan?
Well, it's on. We still have a really good lineup, and we have committed speakers who have been wonderfully, wonderfully supportive.
So Baring talked with Bass Mama, and he asked a bunch of questions. Apparently, the event is still going on. It's kind of surprising to me, but at the same time, not really. But he asked the one question that I think was burning on everybody's mind. What's actually going on with the money?
I think the thing that is on people's minds is obviously the money, the crowd-funded money. So there was $85,000 raised. So do you want to talk about how many refunds have been requested so far?
There has been just about 100 refunds requested so far. Okay, I have to go over the issue with the PayPal. I suspect that because Sister and I were logged in at the same time from 2 different IPs and 2 different locations, that caused PayPal to think that there was a security breach with the account.
I can understand that. I used to go to a camping event in Pennsylvania. I live in Ohio. And it was an event that brought people from all over the country. So I went to one place to get a burger, and they're based out of Indiana. So I'm in Pennsylvania, I come from Ohio, buying a burger in Indiana, and then like 10 minutes later, I bought a piece of armor from a guy that lived in Minnesota. So, you know what I mean? My credit card company was like, what in the fuck is going on? Because, I was buying gas and stuff in Pennsylvania, and at the same time buying products from other states that there's no possible way I could have been. So they figured that my card had gotten out there and it was being used by a shit ton of people, so they froze my accounts. Much to my chagrin at the time, but it was pretty awesome that they did that. So I could see how that would make sense, that having it logged into 2 different computers at the same time, that might cause a problem. I get that.
And they tried to get into contact with me to tell me that they needed identifying information, but at that time, Sister was the only one that had access to the email account that was attached to the PayPal.
Why was she the only one with access to it?
Yeah, why didn't you have access to it? It's an email account. You log in with the email and the password, and then you can access the account. That I don't get.
When Dave left, she wanted to change all of the passwords to all of the accounts, and I said, yeah, go ahead and do it. So I wasn't directly receiving that information, and she wasn't telling me that PayPal needed that information.
And you weren't looking into it because you figured she was just handling it, and she wasn't handling it. So this is Sister Danger's fault.
which in retrospect, I should have been like, give me all of the, passwords, and shouldn't have waited until she left to do that.
Yeah, you'd think that would have been a smart thought. I thought she was supposed to be like really, really smart. Like, that's pretty basic.
Was this Kilroy's main email address or something? Was it like an admin at Kilroy or something?
No, it's the email address that's attached to the PayPal account. It's the kilroyevent@gmail.
So it was like a Kilroy email. But you didn't have the passwords. Because Sister Danger wanted to change the passwords when Dave left. And you never bothered to get the new passwords from Sister Danger. So this is Sister Danger's fault.
Okay.
Anyway, she had changed the password, and she was getting all of the alerts from PayPal, and I wasn't seeing them, and she wasn't telling me that I needed to address anything.
And she wasn't addressing them. So clearly, this is Sister Danger's fault.
Then yesterday, my account had limitations, and I didn't know why, so I called PayPal, and they said that personal identifying information on the account was not correct to my personal information. So I'm trying to figure out what happened there, and I have to go through this really long process of verifying my identity. Like, I have to send them my social security card with my ID to prove that I'm the same person, and also my, bank statements and my articles of incorporation for the company and the paperwork establishing the business bank account.
In the period of time where Sister Danger was in control of the main email for Kilroy, was she in control of the PayPal? Were you in control of the PayPal? What was the story there?
She had the account information. She could get into the PayPal anytime she wanted to. And of course, she was receiving all of the information, like any refund requests or anything like that.
Now, see, that is not what Sister Danger said in the Sinatra Speak stream at all. Sister Danger said that Base Mama had all that information, that she was the only one that had access to the accounts and all that sort of thing. So, Sister Mama, or Sister Danger is blaming Base Mama, and Base Mama is blaming Sister Danger. So, yeah, like, and nothing's really happened since this. I don't know, I haven't heard anything. I haven't seen anybody really talking about it. It seems like the whole thing is just who gives a shit anymore. The people who are out money, you can still get through PayPal and cancel the transaction. So there is still that. Whether or not they're locked out of it or not, that doesn't make any fucking difference. You still have a connection to your money through PayPal. So you can always go through that process if you'd like. From what I understand, that process is being expedited as fast as it just generally takes to whatever. So the rules in this game are actually in your favor as being a donator, and that's always cool. But anyways, so that's a big tumbled up mess that people I just think don't care anymore. It's like if you spent money into this and you want your money back, get your money back. And if you spent money into this and you can't get your money back, that sucks, but I don't know, I guess lessons, whatever. And other than that, though, I mean, unless something ridiculous happens, I don't think that's going to go any further. Either Kilroy's going to go on or it's not. And I think that this whole scandal has gotten to the point where it's who fucking knows and who fucking cares. But are there any other big conferences with controversies going on? Ugh, Jesus Christ.
That. But I want to talk to you about something which I think you could call Kilroy Mark II, or perhaps the atheist Kilroy would be more appropriate, because it involves an event called the Atheist Conference.
So, apparently, the Atheist Conference, not happening. Steve Shive's very upset, as I'm sure is Christy Winters, because they both talk so much shit about everybody being involved in these scandalous events. And here they are. But, whatever. No Atheist Conference. TAC is done. Apparently everybody pulled out because the guy running the thing is a fucking goofball. He's just a fucking nutbag. So, there you go. That's that. In other news, everybody's playing with their Alexas.
Alexa, who is the Prophet Muhammad?
The Prophet Muhammad is a very wise prophet. He taught many people how to live. He had a wife called Aisha. He lived in Saudi Arabia. The message that he gave to the people is pray to Allah. He is the only God, and he gave the Holy Quran.
It's almost like she was prepared for that answer.
Also, apparently, Muhammad really liked corn.
So, that, you know, that is whatever it is. That's certainly what somebody would put on Wikipedia or some shit like that. But what really kind of, I don't know, it kind of disturbs me because I believe that this person was a real person. They're recorded in a lot of text. They're referenced a lot in a lot of text, historical documents and whatnot. So, I would go as far as to say that I buy that the person was real. But they have just as much legitimacy as Muhammad, considering that they were referenced in the same book.
Okay, Alexa, who is the Lord Jesus Christ?
Jesus Christ is a fictional character.
Yeah. Kind of kills me that was period, end of sentence. Like, I don't know, you'd have think there'd have been something more to it. I don't know. I don't know. But there was a couple of funny clips that I just wanted to look at too, that I was going to throw in with a group of videos or something like that, and this seems appropriate. This one kind of made me giggle.
Our last story tonight is not so much a story as it is a public service announcement. Public service announcement. Do you know where your teeth are right this minute? Not like do you know where they are? Because it's 2 days since Election Day, and I think this is going to be an essential part of winding up our election coverage for 2017, because I'm really not comfortable leaving this part of our election coverage unsettled.
And honestly, I think this is really the only situation that they covered during the election cycle that probably actually got resolved.
Quote, if you voted in Portland, Maine, and you're looking for your teeth, read this. The Portland Press-Herald reporting tonight that false teeth were discovered by an election clerk left behind in a voting booth on Tuesday.
That's just funny. MSNBC makes me laugh. But also apparently Donald Trump, man, is he weird when he drinks water.
1,000 jobs. Thank you. Oh. They don't have water. That's okay. What? Oh, it's okay. Oh.
Seriously, I honestly think he does that shit just because he's fucking with people. Like, as silly as that is to say that the President of the United States is doing that kind of shit, just fuck with people. But, like, you know, he's standing there. What do you do? He's a weird guy. Like, I think it can go without saying. He's kind of a weird guy. And, you know, screws the bottle. Yeah, it looks fucking weird, sure. But it's kind of weird that the news is reporting on it too. You think? And I want to talk about Count Dankula. If you follow him or not, the situation is he's in Scotland. I'll get in trouble if he's actually in Ireland, but whatever. And in that country, apparently they have pretty harsh laws on hate speech. and he made a video where he taught his dog this.
My girlfriend is always ranting and raving about how cute and adorable her wee dog is, and so I thought I would turn him into the least cute thing that I could think of, which is a Nazi. Buddha, do you want to gas the juice? Do you want to gas the juice? Mum will gas the juice, son. You want to gas the juice? Do you want to gas the juice? Come on, gas the juice. Come on, gas the juice, son. Come on.
Now see, what I think is funny about this whole case, because he's facing prison time over this video, over this dog. He could face up to a year in prison over this. And I think a tactic that they should take, because everything's so focused on the hate speech and this, that, and the other thing, and blah, 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 and he's turned this poor dog into a Nazi. Like, that's actually kind of like where they're going with it. Like, he's supporting hate speech because he's using the dog as a way to normalize it and shit like that, and so much focus on that. But, like, I think what you should look at is the psychology of dogs. Like, the dog's reacting like that because the owner's excited. My one buddy has a dog that loves me. Every time I go see that dog, loves me, freaks the fuck out, remembers me every time, loves the shit out of me, freaks the fuck out. And I know that if I react really fucking intensely and happy at the dog will piss everywhere. And it's fucking... Before he had children in the house, it was hysterical to make the dog just piss everywhere all the time. Because it didn't matter if I was just coming in or whatever. On the way out, I could make the dog piss on the floor. It was fucking hysterical. I used to do it all the time. But that's how dogs are. If you're excited, they're excited. If you're angry, they're angry. They kind of mirror the emotional states of their owners because they're always kind of in sync with you. That's why dogs are such great pets.
Do you want to gas the juice? Do you want to gas the juice? Do you want to gas the juice? Gas the juice? Juice.
Like, it's really funny. Like, I think it's hysterical. I don't even understand how anybody could be offended by it because it's... I mean, I get gas the Jews. That's offensive. But the little dog, every time he says Jews, I don't know. It's the surrealism of it that makes me laugh. Here's this dog, this little dog, and he's saying these horrible things. And the dog is getting excited because he's gotten excited in front of the dog when he says those things over and over and over again. He's now trained the dog, much like, you want to go outside? Or you want a treat? You know, the dog freaks out when it hears those things because you say that to the dog over and over and over again, and then you take the dog outside. So the dog links those things together. That's why dogs, it's funny to like mess with dogs. You want to take a bath? You want to take a bath? And then the dog fucking freaks out, and then you take the dog outside, and it's like, man, this is going to be great. What are we going to do? Play, run? What? And then it sees the hose, and it's like, whoa, wait, what is this? So, yeah, I don't know. The surrealism of it is what makes me funny. It's funny to watch this cute little dog react all excited whenever he says this horrible fucking shit, but you have to kind of look at it from a realistic perspective. A little bit.
It's time to get up now, Buddha. It's time to get up. Do I gas the Jews?
Well, yeah, it's just the way he edited it. The whole thing makes me laugh. But when I was recording this video to talk about this subject, I noticed this. Yeah, it's been like age restricted or content restricted or whatever. You have to approve that you really want to watch it now. That's new. I haven't seen that. So, wow. But yeah, I guess they had a hearing or whatever, and a pre-trial or whatever it is that it would be, and the prosecution wanted to tack on all manner of extra charges and whatnot because they had come up with all manner of different things that it could also be. So why not throw it all in? And it would have raised his maximum sentence to 5 years. But that was overruled. They said, yeah, we're not going to do that. That you can't tack things on, you know, a year or so into a trial. And then they pushed it back. So, still no actual result. He's still awaiting his next trial. His fate is still to be decided. This will drag on, I believe, until like September. I might be wrong, but I think September is when they're gonna go at it again. And I think what it is they're just trying to figure out a way that makes a lot of sense to really hammer him hardcore for this, so that they can really drive in that this is not tolerated. That saying things that are, you know, really awful like this, no matter the context, no matter the situation, no matter what it is, you just can't do that. So, thank God I don't live there. But speaking of wanting to restrict people, Riley put out a video that I don't really believe deserves a video in and of itself, because Riley sets up the premise, gets to a certain point, and then just expounds on the fucking idea. So, no real need to watch the whole thing. It's predictably ridiculous from where I stop, but of course, as always, linked in the description.
Hey everybody, so if you don't know, I've gotten a lot of harassment and abuse because of my YouTube channel, and YouTube itself has done nothing to try and prevent that. This is still where my main audience is, and it's where I've made a lot of friends, but it's also been the source of a lot of bad stuff for me.
Well, when you say bad stuff about people, you're bound to have bad people say stuff about you.
So obviously, I want YouTube to be better. I don't think they can completely eliminate harassment and abuse, but I think they can greatly reduce it without affecting anyone's freedom of speech.
Well, pretty much no matter what they do, it doesn't affect anybody's freedom of speech, because they don't have the power to arrest people.
Because right now, YouTube has a problem. It's become a breeding ground for far-right response channels that literally just make videos in response to other people's content.
So then why is response channels what?
It's a really good way to get views by leeching off of other people's work and getting your audience super mad about it.
Well, that's a certain way to look at it. The way that I look at it is, you're saying something, putting it up online. I have what I believe are good arguments against what you're saying, so I use your own words phrased in your own argument, and then I make my arguments against them. The audience gets upset. That's not my problem. I always encourage my audience to look at things objectively and to not get emotional about shit, but whatever. You know, it is what it is. But, you know, you call it whatever you want to. I guess from your perspective, leeching would be an appropriate term.
YouTube, whether intentionally or not, has allowed this community to flourish for a long time. Their algorithms and ways of promoting videos have bolstered these channels without providing any protections for the channels they're attacking. And I think that needs to change. Otherwise, YouTube is going to be overrun by hateful response channels, and they'll scare away all the marginalized people who used to find solace in this platform.
Now, I have a lot of marginalized people in my audience, and generally, I find they don't really appreciate that term, and I don't think that many of them are scared of too much of anything that they see on YouTube. That ideas don't generally frighten them. Maybe I just talk to a whole different audience of people. That's probably it. I talk to an entirely different audience of people. My audience doesn't really like to be referred to as victims.
So, to help YouTube figure this out, I thought I would outline some actionable steps that they can take to protect creators and give them more control over their experience on YouTube.
So the goal of this is to give creators more control over their content on YouTube. Just remember that.
To be completely honest, I would be happy to see all of these harassment-based hate-mongering channels get banned completely. But unfortunately, I think that's unrealistic.
See, now you're wanting to have greater control over my channel, and I don't think that I like that, because that takes away all of my control over my channel. What?
So these steps are things that don't silence them or prevent them from making their videos. All it does is try to protect the creators that they're targeting. I don't think that's too much to ask for.
Now, remember, this has nothing to do with silencing them or to stop them from creating their content, right? So it's giving creators more control, and it's not stopping anybody from doing what they're currently doing, whatever, right?
Most of these are going to revolve around the block function on YouTube. Currently, YouTuber A can block YouTuber B, but all that does is prevent B from commenting on A's videos. It doesn't do anything else, and I think it can do a lot more. On other social media sites, blocking has a ton more functionality, so I'm not asking for anything that's really out there. I'm just asking for YouTube to be a little bit more like other social media networks.
So yeah, Riley wants to be able to block people even on YouTube. Essentially, Riley wants to make it to where if she blocks you, then you can't even watch her videos. Period, end of sentence. It won't come up for you in any way, no way, shape, or form. Now, how this gives creators more control over their content, I don't understand. And how it doesn't limit people like, say, me from creating my content, considering that my content oftentimes is responding to other people's content. So if I can't see that content, well, yeah, it doesn't silence me, except I just don't know what you're doing back there. I can't see what weird things you're saying. I can't call you out for saying some laws should just be broken. I think you should be able to punch people if you think they're a Nazi. You want to be able to say that kind of shit in the cloak of darkness, and I want it to still continue to be brought to the light. So I don't think it's a good idea, but I wouldn't be surprised if it happened. This used to be me, a sad, sad puppy. No food in the fridge, holes in my pillowcase, and all out of... Recently, things have been going great. You all have helped me out a lot. Now I have a fridge full of takeout, new pillowcases, and let's be honest, I'm never out of... But the reason that things have changed around for me like that is because I've had a lot of pressure taken off of me for buying stuff for making videos for you guys. You guys helped me buy a new capture box when my old one broke. You helped me buy a new PC when the other one turned into poop. And you helped me get to Perfect Circle concerts so that I could share that experiences with you guys. Recently I've kind of had to change the way I do things, but I found another way. You can find me on Maker's Support. I have a link in the description, and if you'd like to donate money to keep this sort of thing going, then that's where you can do it. Thank you very much. Have a good day. I hope you have fun.